Well, some other things happening in the business scene now are the total currency in circulation in Nigeria closed the year 2021 at an all-time high of 3.33 trillion naira. This represents a 410 billion naira increase when compared to 2.91 trillion naira, which was the rate in December 2020, and also 19.06% increase from 2019. Now, what does this say about the efforts to promote cashless economy and e-transactions? And what impact actually does it have on the economy? We have Damilare Shimiyu, senior analyst at Afrinvest Securities, now to share his thoughts on this. Hello, Damilare. Good morning. Okay, so Damilare, with this available data from the CBN put in circulation at over 3 trillion naira at the end of 3.29 actually for January 2021, that's even higher than what we had December 2021. That's the highest so far. What does this mean for the Nigerian economy, especially at a time when e-transaction seems to be what the CBN is preaching? If you please unmute and let's hear you. Damilare, I think you should unmute. We cannot hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right, yeah. So thank you very much. Let me begin by first highlighting the 4 factors that I think drove the high level of currency in circulation before speaking to what this means for the economy. First is that we have a very weak credit system. As of 2020, when Statista Lab conducted a survey on African countries in terms of credit card penetration, it's quite interesting to know that Nigeria does not rank among the first 20 countries in terms of credit card penetration in Africa. As a matter of fact, credit card penetration in Nigeria sits just within 1%, according to the data, compared to countries like Mauritius with 23%, South Africa almost 10%, Namibia with 11%. So what that means is that a lot of household transactions, as a matter of fact, estimate shows that more than 80% of household transactions involve either direct payment of cash on instance or transfer from the bank. So when you have a country where credit system is very weak, it becomes difficult to control the level of currency in circulation because people need money to at least meet the day-to-day end needs. So that's the major factor. We need to gradually move towards what the kind of level we are seeing in advanced country, whereby people can even make purchase of any commodity or any item of their choice ahead of the time they will get paid, maybe a salary or something like that. So our credit system is a bit weak. And second is the fact that we have a very high financial exclusion rate. As of 2021, when FINA conducted its last financial inclusion studies, the data revealed that we have about 48% of bankable Nigerians, bankable adults of about 106 million, who are financially included. So meaning that we have about 54% bankable adults in Nigeria who are outside of the regular financial services. So people in this kind of category, this 53%, which is more than 50 million bankable adults, who surely do more of their transaction using cash. Another thing which also supports the large cash in circulation is the fact that we have a very large informal sector. This has been estimated to account for almost 60% of Nigerian economy in terms of GDP. And if you want to take sample of this, you can go to a typical market in Nigeria, and it will interest you the number of market women or market men who you transact with. I will either require you pay on the spot, not even to allow you to do a bank transfer. So all these fuels large volume of money in circulation, plus the fact that Nigeria had to spend its way out of recession, which is the fourth point. We all recall that Nigeria slumped into recession in 2020 following the impact of the pandemic, where the economy contracted by 1.9%. So by our own estimates, between then and now, the federal government, mostly from the CBN side, have expended more than 2.8 trillion And part of this injection to stimulate the recovery of the economy came in the form of cash, especially when you look at the large number of people on FG's conditional cash transfer list. Last year, FG increased the number of beneficiaries on the monthly 5,000 stipend conditional cash transfer to 3.5 million. So if you have 3.5 million people who are depending on 5,000 naira cash every month, I mean, you won't expect those kind of people to facilitate that transaction online. Bulk of that transaction will go via the usage of cash. And also, the business environment here, especially when you come to retail business, have not really supported, online transaction, online payments for most of transactions. So basically, these are the four factors that drove the increase in currency circulation. Now, in terms of impact on the economy, right? So when you have a very large currency circulation...
So Damilare, just before you go to the impact, can we also list issues like efficiency and trust of the e-channels, available e-channels, as a factor?
Well, I think the efficiency of the e-channels in Nigeria have improved significantly. And I can tell you because last year, during our banking sector reports, which we titled Resilience Amid Endemic and Pandemic, released last November, the data we analyzed shows that digital transactions, online transactions by bank rose by 256% between the time the pandemic struck and when we're doing that survey. So it means the survey question also accommodate people sharing their view on the quality of services they enjoy from their bank. And on average, we have positive response for people. So the banking sector or the financial services sector in Nigeria have continued to improve in terms of efficiency. In fact, in terms of response to complaint and everything, the survey revealed that on average, people get response to their request or their complaint within 24 hours, so which is very decent. So but I think the problem is the fact that we have a lot of people in the informal sector. We have a weak credit system, and the country just spent its way out of a recession because prior to the recession in 2019, currency circulation only rose by about 4.9%. But in 2020 and 2021, it rose by about 16 and 19, about 19 and 16%, so which is quite huge. And these are some of the factors that are fueling it, as I've earlier highlighted. So in terms of the impact, right? So large volume of currency circulation makes it difficult for CBN monetary policy to be effective because, for instance, if CBN is trying to reduce liquidity in the system, it's easy to do that by selling Omo auctions to bank. They can easily mop it, but CBN will not transact with you and I. If I have a cash of 1 million in my house, CBN will not have opportunity to mop up that. The same thing with the trader on the road, selling beans, selling corn. So when you have a large informal sector, when you have a weak credit system, when there are a lot of people that are financially excluded, you cannot whisk away seeing the currency circulation being as high as what we are seeing in Nigeria. So it makes monetary policy to be weak and also impose a lot of costs on the CBN in terms of maintaining currency. Printing new currency, because between 2014 and 2019, data shows that CBN spent above 200 billion reprinting new banknotes. So it's huge because when you have a lot of currency circulation, part of it will go tattered, part will get teared, and CBN will need to recycle all this every day. So those are the effects of the economy.
What about inflation? Does it have any effect on inflation?
Yeah, so large currency circulation is both a cause and an effect of inflation. It is a cause of inflation because when there are large volume of money in circulation, the tendency for marginal prices to consume to go up is very high. For instance, if I'm traveling from Lagos to Ibadan and all the cash I have on me is just my transport fee, even though I may see a lot of commodity seller by the roadside, I won't be able to buy because those guys will not allow me to do transfer to them. So I'll just close my eyes and go. But if I have the cash with me, I will see chin-chin, I'll buy, I will see this, I'll buy. So basically, yeah, it can fuel inflation. But when you have large currency circulation, it fuels. There is an effect. The effect side is that when general prices is high, people's share of cash or the cash they want to hold, maybe for transactionary purpose or precautionary purpose, will increase. instance, if I don't need more than 5,000 to fuel my gas in a month, I don't need to keep more than 5,000 on my pillow to do that. But if it costs me 10,000 naira to fuel my gas in a month, you agree with me that that's exactly the same amount I would put. So high currency circulation is both a cause and effect, but more a cause than an effect. Most of it's both a cause and an effect. It has significant impact on inflation dynamics.
All right, and then it's pre-election year, and I know you noted some of the factors that may have increased this currency in circulation. But as in a pre-election year, it's expected that there actually be, more cash flowing among the politicians to the people. How should the CBN respond to this?
Yeah, so the truth is, one of the key objectives of the CBN is price stability and exchange rate stability. And you cannot achieve price stability if you lose track of the control of currency circulation. But the sad part in the case of Nigeria is the fact that we have a weak credit system, like I mentioned, and we have a large informal sector. So it may be very difficult for the CBN to be able to keep currency in circulation in check, especially as we approach the election period, which from history, we know is always characterized with a lot of cash moving around. I recall that in 2014, which is a pre-election year like 2020, 2022 that we had, cash in circulation jumped almost 24%. So because the CBN can easily mop liquidity when it is within the banking system. But when it's with individuals, when it's in the pocket of within the control of individuals, it becomes very difficult. But we know the CBN will do their best, but the level of effectiveness may be very weak given the earlier highlighted challenges. And
also, e-Naira is supposed to help with the issue of financial inclusion. I know you said one of the major factors here is financial exclusion. Can it be used, to mop up the currency in circulation?
Yeah, the first thing to consider is the fact that the e-Naira, what has been the level of acceptance, right? So even currently now, I think the e-Naira is mostly operating in major cities, Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. It is not something that has been fully embraced across the country. And I can tell you for a fact, if you randomly pick 100 people on the street and ask them to fill a questionnaire if they have an e-wallet or the e-Naira wallet now, I'm sure you have more than 60 or 70% of them who don't have the wallet for now. So the e-Naira project or the e-Naira concept have not really gained the level of ground that will make it easy for the CBN to be able to manage system liquidity, leveraging that. It will have been a very good tool because it's more of keeping away the paper notes, which is the real currency circulation we're talking about, and makes it easy for CBN to manage system liquidity. But because the level of adoption or the level of acceptance is still very weak. I mean, I just launched it last year, November, I recall. So I don't think it has gained significant ground to that level that it could be a form of a joker for the CBN to manage system liquidity.
So what do you think should be some of the, maybe immediate steps that can be taken at this time to deal with this high rate of currency in circulation? Or do we just stick with it and see where it leads us to?
Yeah, so I think one of the factors I forgot to mention, which is one of the cause of high system liquidity, is the fact that we have a low investment yield environment. So one of the reasons why people want to hold cash is if the yield on potential investment around them is not attractive enough. I mentioned earlier that system liquidity only rose just by 4% in 2019. Now, that same 2019 was a pre-election year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was an election year, Sarah. But in 2019, the yield environment in Nigeria was very attractive. Yesterday, the Omo auction that was conducted saw the 365 days T-bills just offer about 5%. So you need to put in huge amount of money for that to attract you. So, but in 2019, yield environment, even for a treasury bill, was in double digits. So one of the things that can actually drive a quick win in terms of managing system liquidity is an improvement in the yield environment. But trust me, that's not a route that the CBN or the government will want to consider now, especially given the fact that as of November 2021, we're doing about 76% of our revenue servicing debt. So it will impose a cost on the government, and I don't think the CBN will even want to go that route now.
All right, Damilare, well, I guess the CBN has a lot of thinking and planning to do to find a way to mop up this excess currency in circulation to avoid some of the consequences on the economy. Thank you so much, Damilare Ashimiyu, Senior Analyst with AfriInvest Securities, for sharing your thoughts with us this morning.
Thanks for having me on the show.